switching sources from sources other than the broadcast media is an invitation for us to stop, think, and rethink and reflect on the disruptive digital phenomenon sweeping our industry so that we can discern the next steps forward in the complex. Or 15 years, people will still be watching news, soaps, sports, drama, children's television, and the BC Olachilo shows. And probably they will be voting for their favorite talent show contestants, watching documentaries or listening to new hit songs by Burna Boy, Davido, Wizkid, Thames, or Kiss Daniel. But the one thing that will remain in the picture, constant, is good content. So what is changing? What's changing is how businesses distribute content and how consumers access it, plus the nature of relationships throughout the supply chain. The global shift to digital broadcasting has significant implications for the broadcast industry. So it has for governments and for audiences. Digital broadcasting now offers superior audio and visual quality compared to analog. It also allows for more efficient use of this radio spectrum, enabling broadcasters to provide more channels and services in the same bandwidth. The digital shift has lowered entry barriers for new broadcasters, leading to increased competition, a competition that has fostered a greater diversity of content, catering to a broader range of tastes and interests. And digital broadcasting allows for greater interactivity and convergence with other digital platforms like the internet and mobile devices. So this convergence has led to the development of innovative formats and business models such as on-demand services and interactive advertising. The platforms provide broadcasters with detailed data on viewer habits and preferences, enabling more targeted advertising and content personalization, enhancing the potential for revenue generation and audience engagement. However, the transition to digital broadcasting requires significant investment in infrastructure. This includes new transmission equipment, training for technical staff, and public awareness campaigns to ensure smooth transitions. And there are regulatory and policy implications. Governments and regulatory bodies must revise policies and regulations to accommodate digital broadcasting. This includes managing spectrum allocation, setting standards for digital transmission, and addressing issues related to content regulation and competition. A situation where frequencies on the C-band are appropriated, in quotes, to the detriment of broadcasters is condemnable. Broadcasters have been shortchanged. The regulators seem unperturbed, and the government is waiting patiently to cash in on the spectrum loot. This isn't the way to treat broadcasters. Although digital broadcasting makes it easier to distribute content globally, this merit can lead to the dominance of specific cultures and languages in the media, potentially overshadowing local content. And you only need to look at the broadcasting behemoths to understand how disruptive they have been. They are everywhere. each with a venomous fang: Facebook, now Meta, Apple, Netflix, and Google. Their fangs are all out, ready to devour us. There is also a risk of a digital divide where certain regions or demographic groups might lack access to digital broadcasting due to economic, geographic, or technical barriers. This can lead to disparities in information access and media representation. And there's also an environmental impact. The shift to digital technology also brings an environmental impact, including the disposal of outdated analog equipment and the energy consumption of digital devices. In summary, the shift to digital broadcasting, faceted transition, bringing about enhanced quality and efficiency, increased competition, and opportunities for better audience engagement. But it poses challenges such as significant investment requirements, revised regulatory frameworks, concerns about the digital divide, and cybersecurity issues. Our industry and the media landscape have changed irretrievably. Therefore, we must invest in technology, in people, and content development. The digitization process must be focused, and the rollout must be sustainable. We must work together as true progressive professionals to drive the change we want to see. Either we change with time, or we shall become dinosaurs and continue to be consigned to the slow world of analog experience. And we shouldn't allow that to happen to us. Nigerian broadcasters have to rethink their business models. Ad revenues, now dispersed across many more channels and platforms, diluting our traditional revenue streams. So we can't solely rely on TV advertising anymore. We have to adapt to find new revenue opportunities. Broadcasters are now in a different world. It is a fast-moving, multi-platform landscape, which means a fundamental change for broadcasters and post-production facilities. And you know too well, as I do, that we can no longer create a one-hour program just for broadcast. The new media landscape demands multiple versions of the same thing. Whereas the mantra was, create once, watch once, it has moved from create once, use anywhere, to create versions anywhere. Consumers are not only becoming more demanding, they have higher quality expectations from the media they interact with. It's no longer just a question of repurposing a piece of TV content to fit a mobile phone screen. We are now obligated to satisfy consumers who want a different experience with each piece of media, depending on when and how they access it. So broadcasters are faced with a problem. The amount of production effort has increased, competition is rife, viewership is fragmented, although aggregate viewership is on the increase because it is now spread over many more platforms, and budgets have taken a hit because of the devaluation of the naira. We are forced to do more for less. This means we must work more innovatively, using more adaptive and collaborative workflows. The democratization of information through the internet and social media and the attendant rise of citizen journalism have led inexorably to the influx of social media journalists, most of whom are untrained in the art of the noble profession, where truth, fairness, and balance are the cornerstone of its existence. Even more so, the stakes are now higher than ever before, no thanks to artificial intelligence, which is becoming even more unpredictable and posing an existential threat to the industry. The implications of AI for the broadcast industry are substantial and multifaceted, touching on various aspects from content creation to distribution. AI can streamline the production process by assisting in editing, creating special effects, and generating content. It can enable broadcasters to offer personalized content to viewers, and by analyzing viewer preferences and behaviors, AI can suggest shows and movies, enhancing the user experience and potentially increasing viewer engagement and loyalty. AI tools can write simple news stories and sports reports, freeing human journalists to focus on more complex tasks. This can increase efficiency and allow quicker reporting on certain types of news. Just yesterday, I heard and I read in the New York Times that tech giants like Google increasingly integrate the latest technology onto their platforms to generate content. But concerns have been raised that this will stop millions of internet users from visiting trusted news websites where they will typically keep up to date. And reducing traffic will make it far more challenging for news publishers to afford to produce original and fact-checked articles. It's believed that AI-generated content will not only harm their business models, but in so doing, will further degrade the public's access to accurate information online. AI can analyze viewer data to deliver more targeted advertising, potentially increasing ad effectiveness and revenue for broadcasters. And we all know how the use of speech recognition has helped out in choosing content. AI recommendation engines are already being used by streaming platforms to suggest content to viewers based on their viewing history and preferences. And there's the issue of deepfakes, where the advancement in deepfake technology powered by AI raises ethical concerns. This technology can create realistic videos of people saying or doing things they never did, which could be used maliciously in misinformation campaign. There are also legal issues and also ethical considerations. With the increasing use of AI, broadcasters must navigate complex legal and ethical considerations, including privacy issues related to data collection and the potential for biased algorithms. So in summary, AI presents various opportunities and challenges for the broadcast industry. While it offers the potential for increased efficiency, personalization, and innovation, it also raises significant ethics, legal, and employment concerns. Now, I wish to end my keynote with my thoughts on how we can achieve a successful digital switchover. As we all well know, the transition from analog to digital broadcasting, mandated by the International Telecommunications Union, has been a significant challenge to Nigeria. Despite deadlines, the full implementation of DSO has faced delays due to technical, funding, and logistical issues affecting the reach and quality of broadcasting services. Transitioning to digital broadcasting in Nigeria involves a multifaceted approach that balances technological, regulatory, economic, and societal factors.